Good morning, I'm Maiki Oreta and you're watching Basis Points, where we dive deep into the numbers and the stories that drive our economy and shape our world. The headlines. Lower electricity bills this month. Meralco signals a drop in power rates. Find out why. Could the Philippines dodge U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's controversial policies? One expert thinks so. Los Angeles wildfires caused billions in damage, with losses expected to soar past $50 billion. All that and more coming up. But first, let's take a look at how the financial markets performed overnight. In the United States, the opening bells on Wall Street remained silent Thursday. Both the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ closed for trading in honor of a national day of mourning for former President Jimmy Carter, who passed away on December 29th at the age of 100. This rare midweek shutdown continues a Wall Street tradition dating back to 1865, when markets paused after President Abraham Lincoln's assassination. Over in Europe, markets closed with a mixed performance. The FTSE 100 climbed 0.8%. The DAX flat with a downward bias, lower by 0.1%, and France's CAC 40 higher by 0.5%. Now, global banks are on track to cut up to 200,000 jobs in the next 3 to 5 years as artificial intelligence takes over tasks currently done by human workers. This, according to Bloomberg Intelligence. Surveys of chief information and technology officers reveal that they expect a net 3% reduction in the workforce on average. Jobs in back office, middle office, and operations are most at risk, while customer service functions may be handled by bots. Bloomberg Intelligence studied peers like Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase, and Goldman Sachs. Banks are leaning into advanced AI tools to boost productivity and to streamline their processes. This could signal a shift in the global financial landscape, potentially impacting BPO sectors tied to banking operations. It's also a reminder to adapt quickly to AI to stay competitive in the industry. On another front, good news for consumers. Manny Pangalinan's Meralco expects power rates to drop this month. Meralco spokesperson Joe Zaldariaga cites the lower demand and an improved power supply as the main reasons for that cut. He adds that the Luzon grid's better supply conditions have driven electricity prices down in the wholesale electricity spot market, or WESM. For the Philippines, this means lower electricity bills, easing cost pressures for both households and businesses. In other news, the Philippine trade deficit narrows by less than 0.1% to $4.8 billion in November. This, according to data from the Philippine Statistics Authority, or the PSA. This is lower than the $5.8 billion deficit in October and the narrowest in 3 months. The PSA attributes the low deficit to the decline of exports by 8.7% and imports by 4.9%. Now, passengers of the Light Rail Transit, or LRT1 line, may need to rework their budgets as its private operator seeks a fare hike. The Light Rail Manila Corporation says this petition is part of a periodic fare adjustment process. If approved, the cost of a single journey on the LRT1 will rise from 45 pesos to 60 pesos. This comes after the last fare increase for both the LRT1 and LRT2 back in 2023 took place. Now, Bayan President Renato Reyes is calling on the president to review this petition, arguing that it would add to commuters' financial strain.
Probably the worst kind of privatization that has happened in our history, wherein government guarantees the profits of the private operator no matter what happens. At the end of the day, the problem will have to reach the president. Mr. Marcos, you have to do something about this, because this is a very lopsided honors contract, and the burden on the commuters will be huge.
Okay, thank you. Raises questions about the balance between infrastructure investments and affordability for the commuting public. Now, it's no surprise that some lawmakers, that a significant number of Filipinos support the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte. But the big question remains, will the impeachment complaint gain enough traction in Congress to move forward, especially with a pro-Duterte majority? Sandro Ochona has the details.
A lawyer for the third impeachment complaint against VP Sara Duterte believes there is enough time for Congress to act on the complaint and transmit it to the Senate. He said this happened when former Chief Justice Renato Corona was ousted through an impeachment trial.
The Senate then started the trial in January of 2012, and they were able to hand a decision by May of 2012. Although we are 1 month short of the Corona timeline, but for us it's still manageable. It's kind of similar to the timeline that the Senate had when they decided to remove from office then Chief Justice Corona.
He also believes the senators are duty-bound to sit as judges and proceed with the trial.
The adjournment does not affect the fact that the Senate is bound by the Constitution to constitute itself as an impeachment tribunal the moment it receives articles of impeachment from the House of Representatives. The adjournment only affects the Senate as a legislative body. It does not affect the Senate as a constitutional impeachment tribunal.
A recent SWS survey shows 41% of Filipinos are in favor of impeaching the Vice President. In a statement, House Assistant Majority Leader Jay Kong-hoon said the numbers don't lie and that the public is demanding accountability. He said it also reflects the growing frustration over the glaring irregularities surrounding Duterte's actions. Akbayan Party List Representative Percy Sendanya agrees with this, saying the survey not only validates the growing distrust towards the Vice President, but also highlights the people's clamor for accountability. Another lawmaker who endorsed the second impeachment stressed,
Itong usapin ng impeachment ay isang election issue. Talagang susukatin ang mga kakandidato na mga politiko dito sa kanilang stand, dito sa impeachment complaint. Baka sa election, yung mga pro-impeachment, yung kanilang mga pipiliin as against dun sa hindi. Kaya talagang ito yung barometer.
The House resumes session next week and is expected to decide on the fate of the three and a possible fourth impeachment complaint. Sandro Ochona, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
An analyst says that the Philippines is likely to be insulated from the impact of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's planned tariffs. HSBC economist for the ASEAN, Aris Dakanay, believes that the Philippines is the most resilient among Southeast Asian economies in the face of the proposed policy. Dakanay points out that the country's export of goods has minimal exposure to the U.S., with only Vietnam and Thailand facing significant risks from possible U.S. tariff increases. Trump had earlier pledged a 10% universal tariff and a 60% tariff on Chinese goods. For the Philippines, this means a limited impact on exports and a chance to stay competitive in the region despite global trade uncertainties. We're taking a quick break. Please stay with us as we dive deep into the numbers and the narratives that matter most to your bottom line. Welcome back to Basis Points. Trading at the Philippine Stock Exchange opened just a few minutes ago. Let's take a look at the initial figures. As of 9:47 this morning, the PSE index is in the red and it's fallen below the key 6,500 support level. Right now we're at 6,490. Now recall yesterday the market bounced back after 2 days of declines on last-minute bargain hunting, which lifted the PSE index up 0.2% to 6512. Now, right now, I'm seeing a lot of red. The all shares index is lower, but not by much. We're down by just a tenth, almost 0.2% to 37.50. The financials, industrial, and holding firms and the services counters are also in the red, whereas the mining and oil and property counters are slightly in the green. Now, analysts say that concerns over rising inflation risks in the U.S., which were highlighted in the Federal Reserve's latest meeting minutes, that's weighing on investor sentiment because it dampens expectations for significant rate cuts in 2025. Now, adding to the cautious mood also is uncertainty fueled by potential changes in trade and immigration policies under Trump 2.0. The inauguration is going to be on January 20th, and we've got a lot to see what happens when he comes in and gets into office. Apart from that, there's also weakness in the local currency, and that is, just limiting investor participation in the market. And until then, analysts say that we can expect anemic trading at the exchange market. So that we need positive catalysts and more clarity. Now, at the foreign exchange market, the peso opened flat against the greenback at 58.50, same level as its previous close yesterday of 58.50. Now, in other news, the Bilyonaryo C family, known for building the Philippines' largest retail and property empire, is raising billions through SM Prime Holdings next month. SM Prime, the property arm of the C family's SM Group, will sell 25 billion pesos worth of fixed retail bonds to fund its growth and refinancing plans. Although the offering is still awaiting regulatory approval, the bond sale is scheduled for February 12th to 19th, with issuance on February 25th. To facilitate the transaction, the company taps BDO Capital and China Bank Capital as joint issue managers, while BPI, PNB, and other banks serve as joint lead managers. The C family's business empire includes SM Supermalls, BDO, Unibank, and various property developments, making this bond offering a crucial step in supporting their expansive growth ambitions. Now, the Board of Investments has approved the 2.35 billion peso project of Bilyonaryo Enrique Razon's International Container Terminal Services Incorporated to modernize the Iloilo commercial port. The approval comes with incentives, as the project is entitled to income tax holidays for 3 years, followed by 5 years of enhanced deduction and duty-free importation of equipment under the CREATE Act. The project will transform the old Iloilo commercial port complex into a state-of-the-art facility to help drive economic growth in the Visayas region. The project is expected to create over 3,000 jobs that will directly and indirectly benefit the region and other related industries. On another front, the Philippine Tobacco Institute, or PTI, is calling on lawmakers to review the current tax system to help curb the illegal tobacco trade. Speaking at a Senate Committee on Ways and Means hearing, PTI President Jericho Nograles highlights that the illegal tobacco trade is fueled by untaxed cigarettes being sold at lower prices than legal products, while he acknowledges that the efforts of the Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR, Bureau of Customs, and Department of Trade and Industry to fight illegal trade. He emphasizes that more must be done to effectively address the problem. For the Philippines, this issue not only impacts legitimate businesses, but it also results in significant revenue losses for the government. San Miguel Corporation is upgrading operations at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, or NAIA, introducing new ambulances, follow-me vehicles, and coasters to improve safety and efficiency. The new fleet includes 2 ambulances with modern medical equipment to respond to emergencies. 3 follow-me vehicles will help guide aircrafts to their designated parking positions, aiming to improve ground safety operations and safety, rather. Now, 4 internal terminal coasters will provide passengers with a more convenient way to transfer between terminals, particularly for connecting flights. This latest move is part of ongoing efforts to address operational issues at NAIA and to enhance the airport experience for passengers. Now, on another front, the Villar Group of companies, led by the politically active Villar family, is denying claims that it owes over 200 million pesos in unpaid real property taxes in Las Piñas. The allegations came from Las Piñas City Councilor Mark Anthony Santos, who is accusing the company of failing to pay 213.5 million pesos in taxes. Santos, who is running for Congress against Senator Cynthia Villar in the upcoming May midterm elections, is calling for accountability from the company. In response, the Villar Group is describing the allegations as erroneous, misleading, and politically motivated. The company says they've already paid 151.8 million pesos in taxes as of November, including advance payments for real property taxes last year. This dispute is unfolding against the backdrop of a highly charged political season, raising questions about the intersection of business and politics. Now, actor and comedian Rufo Quinto is released after posting bail at the Pasay Regional Trial Court just a day after her arrest on Wednesday. Quinto faces 14 counts of fraud filed by investors of a skincare company, accusing her of involvement in an investment scam. Investors allege that the scheme promised high returns but failed to deliver, leaving many at a loss. She has already appeared before the court and entered a not guilty plea to charges of violating the Securities Regulation Code.
Salamat sa judge namin, sila din, like lawyers ng iba, kapayag ng lawyers ng complaint. Syempre, maganda kasi binigyan natin sa yung mag-examine na ba yan. Alam mo yun, basta they give me a check, kaya huli na ako.
The case underscores the risks investors face in high-profile endorsements and the importance of due diligence before investing in celebrity-backed ventures. For the business community, it's a reminder to be wary of scams disguised as legitimate opportunities. Now, AccuWeather, a U.S. private forecaster, estimates that the California wildfires have caused over $50 billion in damage and economic losses, with the number expected to rise if the fires reach densely populated areas. The wildfires have already claimed at least 5 lives and destroyed hundreds of homes and buildings, highlighting the devastating impacts of the increasingly frequent climate-related events. JP Morgan reports that insured losses from the wildfires could reach $10 billion. Property consultant CoreLogic estimates that more than 456,000 homes with a reconstruction value of nearly $300 billion are at moderate or high risk in the Los Angeles and Riverside metropolitan areas. These wildfires underline the growing financial risks associated with climate change, which continues to drive extreme weather events. For businesses and investors, this translates to challenges in insurance markets, property values, and regional supply chains, as well as a greater need to invest in climate resilience. Now, as the world pays tribute to Jimmy Carter's legacy of integrity and humility, another story rather highlights a very different kind of achievement in the world of luxury cars. Italian sports car maker Lamborghini has set a new sales record in 2024, defying the gloom that has hit mass-market car companies. Lamborghini sold more than 10,000 cars last year, a 6% increase compared to 2023 figures. 2024 marked a transition year for the brand as it shifted toward hybrid vehicles. However, the company is in no rush to fully embrace electric-only cars, despite developing an electric concept vehicle in 2023. Now, this success highlights the continued resilience of the luxury market, even as challenges persist in the broader automotive industry. Now, from the world of luxury cars to cutting-edge technology, L'Oreal is taking skincare to the next level with its new Cell Bioprint technology unveiled at CES 2025. The device uses a small skin sample collected via a facial tape strip to analyze biomarkers in the skin. It can reveal details like age, how the skin responds to certain ingredients, and potential future issues. The device can even predict skin concerns such as dark spots and enlarged pores before they become visible. L'Oreal says it plans to roll out the product by late 2025.
It will also tell you which ingredients will be the most suited for your skin, which today is really an auditioning game. You are auditioning products today. We are estimating and guessing. By being able to tell people their biomarkers, we'll be able to tell them which ingredients are the most suited for their skin, which eliminates all of that guessing game.
Yan, Eileen. And that's it for Basis Points. I'm Maiki Oreta. We'll be back next week for news on the financial markets and more. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo news channel, always on top.